It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John. Well, here we are at the start of a brand new week. Great thing about it, though, we've still got our same great sponsors that we have each and every week, including Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 315 Jefferson Street, right here in Camden. Give them a holler at 836-8125. Greg Bradshaw and his staff will point you in the right direction.
And we got ProMed Ambulance. Give those fine folks a call at 1-800-634-0436. Serving Randolph, Lawrence, Ashley, Union, Dallas, and Calhoun County. Better to have them and not need them than need them and not have them.
Without question. Also, J.J. Lindsay down at the Shopper's Guide.
Absolutely. If you got any stationary needs, if you need some business cards, it's deer season. If you need some no trespassing signs, you give J.J. a call down to the Shopper's Guide, and he'll fix you up.
There you go. Also, be sure and find us on anywhere you can find podcasts, man. We got Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcast, YouTube, and you can probably even find us on the Yes Radio Works Facebook page. What do you want to talk about here today, Johnny?
Well, you know, a couple of weeks ago, they reported erroneously that Jerry Lee Lewis had died.
Right.
Old John, Uncle John, jumped in there and whooped up a whole bunch of stuff. We was going to dedicate the whole world to Jerry Lee, and then they said he wasn't dead. So Uncle John tore it all up, throwed it in the trash.
False report.
2 days later, he was dead.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
Jerry Lee, why couldn't you die the first time? You know? But you talk about a rock and roll rebel now.
I'm telling you, man.
I'm telling you, it's what music's all about. There wasn't too many of them that fit in the same mold as Jerry Lee.
No, not at all.
You know, first cousin to Jimmy Swaggart and Mickey Gilley. You know something had to go wrong.
Yep, there you go. Mom
and Daddy mortgaged their farm to buy the boy a piano. You know he was destined for greatness. You know, you take all the rest of them and put them on one side, and as far as I'm concerned, all of them together didn't stack up against Jerry Lee Lewis.
Yeah, he was a hard act to follow for sure.
You know, he told them from the very beginning, you know, this is what I'm going to do. And that's what he did. And he didn't conform. He didn't follow anybody's advice. He didn't follow the recipe or the prescription. He didn't take too well to instructions or directions. He just opened the door and let it go.
There you go, absolutely. And some of the biggest mega hits they're still playing them today.
Absolutely.
Great Balls of Fire was still in the Top Gun 2 soundtrack here just months ago.
And the guy hated the song. He didn't think it'd ever go anywhere.
Oh, for Pete's sakes.
But you talk about, man, I'm talking about just somebody near and dear to your heart. You know, all the things that he survived, all the, you know, the scandals and the deaths and the misfortunes and speaking of fortunes, he made and lost several of them. But you know, the guy was true to himself. He didn't adhere to what any record executives told him, or any lawyers told him, or any studio heads told him. He followed Jerry Lee's path. And, you know, it paid off for him.
Oh, yeah. I think you could argue the first rock and roll rebel. I mean, like you said, he wasn't going to do what everybody else said and tore stuff up, you know. And
of course, he married his third wife before he was divorced from his second wife. And his third wife was his second cousin by his bass player, first cousin. You know, I mean, the guy was just tailor-made for scandal, but just tailor-made for Southern rock and roll. And then, you know, reinvented himself into a country music icon, you know.
And did quite a few blues, too.
Did a lot of, you know, played with everybody and just kind of followed his own path. And I admired the guy for that because he didn't listen to managers. He didn't listen to anybody but Jerry Lee. And I kind of, you know, you just got to admire somebody that no matter what the cost, the guy went his own way, and I admire him for it.
Well, that's what made Jerry Lee
Jerry Lee. The killer.
The killer, absolutely. No doubt about it. Hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today. But you know what? We just getting started. We'll be here all week. Same bat time, same bat channel. I guess we'll see you tomorrow, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.